Hey there guys, my name is Brendan and I am the head coach and owner of a company called Raw Motion Fitness in the UK, and I actually help professional people lose weight, tone up and feel amazing through movement, mindset and nutrition. I'm just trying to help people who have got chronic pelvic pain syndrome. With chronic pelvic pain syndrome and with prostatitis and with all these conditions that they sort of have all these different symptoms. Everyone's got different things going on and not everything will work with everyone. That's the first thing I'd say. The second thing I'd say is if you're looking at these moves and wondering what the hell I'm doing, my advice would be go and see a professional, go and see a physio who specializes in male pelvic care, because that's what I did. And because I have been an athlete in the past and I have spent a lot of time training in gyms, and I have studied extensively human biomechanics, I was able to put together what I know and what the physios told me, and I was able to figure out a way for me to start to alleviate my symptoms. And it's taken me about a year of real trial and error with things. There's a few things that I still need to tweak and change to see if that will really kind of relieve me of all my symptoms. But as we speak right now, my pain level is probably about a 2 or a 3 out of 10. Some days it goes up to about an 8 or 9 out of 10, and particularly if I have sex, it can be quite troubling the next day. A lot of that is down to how tense my pelvic floor muscles get and how much stress that I've put on those muscles in the process of having sex or in the movements that I've done. So it's been a very interesting road for me, and hopefully today I can give you a few pointers. But one of the best things I've ever had in my life, and since I bought it has been my best friend every day, is a foam roller. So get your hands on one of those. And the second thing that I've got is a PVC pipe or something like that, which is strong enough that it's not going to break if you sit on it. So there's 3 things that have affected my situation. The first thing, and that I like to point out, is I have got a weak glute on my left side. Right, so my left glute isn't very good. So my left glute is not very good. It's not very strong. It's not very active. I've also got some issues with my left ankle, which have caused an issue in my obturator muscle in my pelvic floor. So what the trigger was for me was heavy stress load, anxiety due to work and family, personal things that were going on. And then I stepped foot in the gym to do the routine that I've always done. And it was going really well until my ego got the better of me and I put too much weight on the bar, and then bang, it was like someone just knocked the crap out of my nuts. And so after that, that whole night, that was when the whole chronic pain kicked in. So I spent most of the year figuring things out. What you're going to need, sorry to ramble, but it's important that I cover these things. The first thing I'd say to you is get yourself a foam roller. Start foam rolling your calf muscles out every single day. Okay, start with basic foam rolling like this and move into doubling up those legs and really starting to work the tissue and start to really release those muscle fibers. Okay, that's the first thing you can do. The second part would be to take care of the inside of the thighs, the outside of the thighs and the quadriceps. Hamstrings probably for most people will be too tight as well, so you can give those a good old roll out as well, although I find that the other move I'm going to show you will help more than foam rolling your hamstrings. Like I said, pay attention to the calf muscles, get on the inside of the thigh. As I'm doing this, I'm just focusing on rolling my hips towards the middle of that foam roller. But again, all I'm doing with this is I'm just trying to roll out my hips towards the foam roller, and I'm trying to release any tension on the inside of the thigh. Third exercise would be your IT band. So rolling up and down the IT band like this and really just focusing on smooth, steady strokes. There's a lot of schools of thought on these. You can spend, depends on the pain threshold, but you can spend 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, as long as you feel like you're making some progress. Just understand this takes time. So if you're going to do this for 1 day and then not see a change, chances are it's going to happen, right? But if you show up every single day and you do stuff like this and you start to really take care of the muscles around your pelvis, around your hips, it's going to be a game changer for you. And it's one of the things that has helped me in my path. Okay, so that's the IT band covered. And then when you get into the quads, it is just simply rolling up and down on the quads. Use your elbows and just use that back leg to kind of help you out. Okay, so if I switch sides and change the angle slightly, you'll notice I'm rolling up and down the front of my quad, but I've got a kickstand here just to support me. I realize that some people might be in that much pain that they can't actually get into these positions very easily. And what I would say to that is, if you've been suffering and you know the pain that we've experienced together as men, I can tell you right now, the juice is worth the squeeze, okay? So those ones, calf muscles, outside, inside, quads. And then the last one, and this is one that I came across doing a course on functional movement and functional training, and specifically myofascial release, dealing with the muscles around the hips and everything. So we have this sort of glutes and then your hamstrings, right? And there's a little fold in here called the gluteal fold, and that's where your hamstrings kind of tuck in underneath your glute muscles. So if your glutes are there, your hamstrings kind of tuck in underneath it. And what we want to do is we want to try and get something that we can sit on like this, right? And put it in that position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here very gently, right? Because this could be very tight on a lot of people. And from there, I'm leaning back on my hands and I'm pressing, I'm finding that fold between the glute and the hamstring. And then very gently, I'm gonna push myself forwards. And as I do that, I'm trying to keep my legs as straight as possible, okay? As I do that, I'm exposing that tissue to the pipe, and the pipe's just giving it that little extra bit of pressure and helping to essentially give you like a massage, right? So all of this stuff, foam rolling, myofascial release, it's about self-massage. It's about giving your muscles some more blood. So you release them, you roll on them, increases blood flow. Hopefully your diet's clean, your diet's good, and it helps to bring fresh nutrients to that tissue so that tissue can recover. Okay, so obviously there's going to be schools of thought out there on everything. And I'm not saying that this is the ultimate solution, but I found that just doing about 10 minutes of this every morning has been really helpful. Okay, I'll do it sporadically throughout the day if I need to. And initially with my physio, Adrian Wagstaff from Core Body Clinics, he gave me a routine and I had to do it 4 times a day. You tell me if it was worth it. I can tell you it 100% was. And most days I did 3 times. I've got to be honest. Some days I did just once, and other days I did like 2 or 3 or 4. You know, there would be occasions where I'd hit all the 4. But over time it got better and better, and he progressed me through it. So I was constantly feeding back to him over the time that we worked together. So those 4 moves, guys, just think about those. The PVC pipe one, just be careful how you do it, and if you need some help with it, or if you just want to chat to someone, you know, I've always got a policy of trying to help people anyway, so just shoot me a message or whatever and I'll get back in touch with you. But genuinely, like, take care of the body, do some research on people, go and see an expert, you know, because these are some of the things that have helped me. There's other stuff as well that's been beneficial, making sure my diet was on point, less caffeine, you know, things like that. But realistically, speak to someone who's a specialist in male pelvic health and care from a physiological perspective. Physio would be my first port of call, because there's always going to be tension somewhere. And if you can help relieve that tension, it'll help with breakthroughs down the line. So I hope that's been helpful and I haven't rambled too much. Have a safe day, stay strong, keep moving.